with Mario Lopez.
Hey, y'all, Mario Lopez. Joining me right now, one of the candidates running for the next mayor of Los Angeles, Mr. Rick Caruso. How are you, sir?
Hello, Mario. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Such a pleasure to see you. I got to schedule an interview to talk to an old friend. Full disclosure for my listeners, I shot my show back in the day, Extra, at The Grove, which is a Caruso property, for many years. So much fun. We kicked off this radio show. How many years ago, Frazier?
That was over 10.
Over 10 years ago.
This year makes 10.
This year makes 10. Unbelievable. So the Grove and Caruso properties have a special place in my heart. And it's funny, I was doing an interview for a documentary about the death of a mall, right? And I said, what you need to do is have Caruso affiliated just take over all the malls in the country. The only ones I go to now are like the Americana and the Grove. Really, the only ones that exist, right?
Well, you know what? Business, thank God, is great. We actually ended up last year with our best year ever, which I would have never expected coming off of COVID. But, you know, people like being outside and they like being happy, and we work hard to make our guests happy. So I'm just very grateful that so many people come and visit and shop and just hang out with us.
I've witnessed it firsthand. And not only do you run these amazing properties, they're first-class operations and very secure, very, very clean. And now you finally, because I've been wanting you to do this for a while now. You've transitioned to run for mayor of one of America's biggest cities, with unfortunately a lot of problems. Homelessness being, I think, one of the biggest issues. And living here for a long time, I've never seen it so bad. Well, how are you planning to tackle this growing issue, Rick?
Well, you know, you're right, Mario. You've got a couple of big issues in Los Angeles, but the top two that I focus on, and I think all of us in Los Angeles are focused on, is the amount of people that are homeless living in our streets. Actually, the amount is 44,000 people. And just to put that into perspective, 90% of the cities in Los Angeles have 40,000 residents or less. So we basically have a city living in our streets, and it's no way to have people living, and we got to give them a better path of life, and we've got to give them services for mental health and drug addiction. I have a plan to build beds so we get them into warm, clean beds and triage the services, do it in a firm way, but with great compassion and humanity, because the way they're living now is not humane. And of course, the second is crime, which continues to rise in the city. And we've got to get a handle on it. And we've got to rebuild the police force and have more cops on the street. And the defunding that happened a couple of years ago, we're feeling the pain of that because we're 500 officers short. So I've got a plan to add 1,500 officers and actually reduce crime like I did 20 years ago when I was the police commissioner, along with Bill Bratton. I dropped crime 30% and reformed a department. I've done it before, and I'm confident with good leadership and good help, I'll do it again.
You're a developer, a builder. If anyone knows how to tackle a housing crisis and make it work, it's you, sir. And I love the experience with the police commission. I have a question though. I've seen figures like 800,000 to build one unit of housing. How is that possible, and why is it costing so much?
Well, you know, Mario, it's crazy because this really reflects on the leadership that we've had. We all agreed as residents of Los Angeles to tax ourselves about $1.1 billion under this proposition called HHH, which I thought was a good idea at the time. What's happened with it is we were supposed to have 10,000 units built in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 years later, we've got roughly 1,000 units at an average cost of $800,000. And it's mismanagement, it's waste. It shows why the mayor needs to have chief executive skills. The city of Los Angeles is a complex business with a massive budget. Private enterprise is building units at 200,000. So our leadership is building low income units at 4 times the cost of private enterprise. And we've got to stop that program, get an accounting. We're wasting taxpayer dollars. And I don't believe we should be wasting taxpayer dollars. Everybody works really hard for their money, and we should be getting their money's worth.
Absolutely. You mentioned crime. Never did I think I'd see the day, Rick, where people in Beverly Hills, one of the most affluent areas, They would be just getting held up outside eating, Rodeo Drive getting broken into.
Yeah.
It's like Blade Runner out here. Do you see any issue being able to work with the city council to solve these problems?
No, I don't. Listen, the mayor's office has to work closely with the council. And as you know, Mario, and many of the listeners out there, every project I've built, I've been able to build because I form a partnership. I know how to reach across the aisle and reach across the table. I know how to lead and get people excited about reaching a goal. I think everybody in the council wants to reduce crime. Nobody likes having what's happening now in the city of Los Angeles. I mean, homicides are up 50% since 2019, and we're having an average of 4 people a day being shot in the city of Los Angeles. So again, the other thing to remember is the police department, like all the departments, report directly to the mayor. And the commissioners for the police department are appointed by the mayor and then confirmed by the city council. So, the mayor's got enough authority. I'm going to use my authority to tackle crime and reduce it and make a more livable, which we need, livable and safe community, for our families and our businesses. We have to have it in the city.
The last couple of years have obviously been very rough on business, Rick, especially small businesses. How do you go about making LA a little more business friendly? Is it possible?
Well, you're right. And yes, it is possible. It starts out with attitude and culture. And again, it starts out with setting goals and leadership. 90% of the businesses in Los Angeles are small businesses. And many of those businesses are run by the Latino families, Black families, Korean families, Asian families, right? And they're families that have come here with a big dream and to have their dreams come true, and they want to work hard. They want to be able to get, good education for their kids, etc. In City Hall, I'm going to open the doors and I'm going to say, we are open for business and we're open to support your business. And since I understand business and I was a small business, I started with 1 employee 30 years ago and built it up in this great city. I know how to help businesses grow and protect them. And I want to welcome back big businesses that we've lost in this city because we want to our tax base. We want to create good paying jobs, have more opportunities for people in our community. So I'm really excited about doing that, and I know I can help.
It seems to me if you elect the same type of people, you're not going to change the environment, the climate, and you'll have the same type of problems. What are people going to get if they elect a candidate like Karen Bass?
Well, listen, this is what I tell people. If you want more of the same, vote for somebody else. If you want real positive change, if you want somebody that's going to come in that's not looking for a career in politics, that has never been a career politician, but I understand government because I served 3 mayors. Remember, I served Tom Bradley, I served Dick Reardon, I served Jim Hahn. So I know how government works, I know how private enterprise works, and I know how to make change. Career politicians make decisions every day through the lens of what's in their best interest to keep their job or get a new job. And that's one of the reasons we find ourselves in this city declining, rising crime, more homelessness. So everybody that's running against me, the problems have just gotten worse on their watch. And it's crazy, right? So you're going to have more of the same, and it's going to get worse.
That's exactly right. What do you say to people though that say you've only worked in private business and you're just a guy trying to play politics at the moment?
Well, I've been serving this city since I was 26 years old. Like I said, Tom Bradley appointed me as the commissioner of the Department of Water and Power. I then served under Dick Reardon at DWP, the largest public utility in the country. We greened up LA, reduced the budget, made it more efficient for ratepayers. And then I was tapped by Jimmy Hahn to take over really a mess at the time of LAPD after the Rodney King beating, and had to reform a department, hire more officers, and I reduced crime along with Bill Bratton by 30%. So I understand how government works. I've done it before. I've also managed billion-dollar budgets before. So it's not the time to learn on the job. Karen has never been a chief executive. She's never managed a big budget. And frankly, with all due respect, she's only signed the back of a check. She's never signed the front of a check. And you need to have somebody in that office that knows how to grow business, protect business, and create good paying jobs and make tough decisions.
Last question, Rick. What about traffic in LA? Is that a problem that can actually ever be solved?
You know,
As
we
you
have
in
not,
traffic.
I know, as I'm sitting in traffic. You know, we have not done a great job, Mario, on mass transit and infrastructure. I don't get it. We have spent tens of billions of dollars. But here's one of the fundamental problems where I think there's a disconnect. We spend tens of billions of dollars building a subway system and we're putting people underground. We've got the most incredible weather in the world, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And some of the great cities in the world, as you know, they have street level systems. And they're fun to ride, they're pretty to ride, you're in fresh air, you're not in a tunnel. And I think we really need to change the way we're thinking about moving people around and create a great experience for people. And that's one of the things, listen, as mayor, I get to have input on mass transit. I'm going to represent what the people want in their communities on that.
Rick, if people want to find out more about your campaign, where can they go?
They go to carusocan.com. And listen, what I would ask, Mario, is everybody get out and vote. Everybody has a ballot that's been delivered to their house. And I would be honored to have their vote. I would work hard every day for the residents of this city. And voting ends on June 7th. So now's the time to do it. And Mario, God, it's great to see you. And I miss you and give my love to the family. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to be on your show.
Likewise, my friend, I'm very proud to call you a friend, and I believe in you, and I think you're going to be an excellent mayor. And just know the whole Lopez family is behind you, sir, and you have our support.
That means the world to me. I got you out chills. Thank you, Mario.
All right. God bless you. And thanks again. That is Rick Caruso. Thank you so much for checking in.
God bless you.
On with Mario Lopez.